Since the October 7th attacks by Hamas on Israeli civilians, Israel has worked to assassinate all of Hamas's leaders. One who has managed to avoid getting killed is Yahya Sinwar, the man who is now leading the group. He is believed to be hiding underground in a tunnel in Gaza, using Israeli hostages as human shields.
Today, Yahya Sinwar runs the political bureau and the military wing of Hamas. This is the first time that all the power within Hamas is in the hands of one person, and it happens to be the one person who is maybe the most extreme person within Hamas.
Baskin doesn't expect any major changes in Hamas's negotiating position for a ceasefire that could end the war in Gaza and free the remaining hostages. He says Sinwar is known as an extremist.
He is, without question, very extreme, very religious, has a distorted view of what Islam is, believes that the most important commandment in his version of Islam is to be a martyr for Palestine.
Israel sentenced Sinwar to life imprisonment in 1989 for masterminding an attack that killed 2 Israeli soldiers and for killing 4 Palestinian collaborators. He spent more than 20 years in Israeli jails, speaks Hebrew fluently, and sees himself as an expert on Israel. He was one of more than 1,000 Hamas prisoners released in 2011 in exchange for kidnapped Israeli soldier Gilad Shalit. Israeli officials say they are determined to kill Sinwar, as they have other Hamas leaders involved in the October 7th attacks that triggered this war.
The change in his title not only doesn't prevent us from pursuing him, it motivates us, and we will make the effort to find him, to target him, and for them to replace the head of the political bureau once again.
On the streets of Gaza, opinion is divided on whether Sinwar's appointment would bring both sides closer to a deal to end 10 months of war.
Sinwar's appointment will make the war last longer because Israelis don't want Sinwar. They want a political figure that will make concessions to them. And we've heard that Sinwar is a stubborn man, so he might not concede.
But others say Sinwar's naming could make it easier to make a deal with Israel.
Hopefully this will speed up the end of the war, because Sinwar lives inside the Gaza Strip and is more familiar with the negotiations.
After 10 months of war, civilians on both sides of the conflict say that regardless of who is in charge of Hamas, they just want the fighting to end. Linda Gradstein, VOA News, Jerusalem.